What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another vlogging sort of video. So it is now approaching the end of the year. It is officially Thursday, November 21st. And so the year is closing out, and unfortunately I have so many projects to do. So I thought long and hard about it, and I think going forward for at least the remainder of the year, I'm gonna really focus on trying to get through these projects. And so these projects are not gonna be these videos are not gonna be necessarily like completing one full project for each video, just because, like I said, there's so much that I'm doing, there's so much I'm trying to get done. I've got a lot of WIPS, and I really do want to start the new year with as many fresh new projects and ideas. There's nothing better than starting fresh in the new year. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of bring you through some of the different projects that I'm working on in order of what I definitely want to get done and what I'm just kind of like, well, it would be nice to, but the probabilities are low. So let's start with the first project that I'm working on, which is a sweater for my son. So I started working on this. This is a knit sweater. I am not using a pattern for this, by the way. So one thing, I use patterns occasionally, like if I'm working on something new, if I'm trying to learn a new technique, or if I'm just, maybe I just like it, I don't know. But I usually kind of just come up with things in my own head. And so my son saw me making the granny square sweater that I made a few videos back. Go ahead and take a look at that if you guys want to. And he asked me if I could make something for him. He's 7 years old, by the way. So I told him, of course. I asked him what he wanted, and I was like, do you want a hat? Do you want some gloves? Do you want a scarf? Do you want a sweater? And he said he wants a sweater. So that is what this is right here. I have been working on it, and like I said, I did not use a pattern. However, I did do this really beautiful cabling, and this is not my cabling. Well, I'll show you the sweater I got the cabling from. All right, and we're back. So this is my husband's sweater. I did not make this. This is J. Crew. But this is his sweater, and as you can see, it has these beautiful cables in it, and this is what I used as my inspiration for my son's sweater, because I just thought it would be cute, like, father-son kind of matching a little bit. So yes, so this is my husband's sweater, and I just kind of looked it over, and this has a 4x4 twisted rib, and then it has purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, and then it goes back into the ribbing. So this was my inspiration. And then I just kind of copied the energy of that. So this is a little different because my son is 7, he's a lot smaller. So I thought a 4x4 rib would be really big on here. And I felt like what's the word I'm looking for? The spacing, or how, the pattern would on a smaller frame. I thought this would look, I'm putting up against me like it's gonna fit me. But I thought that the 3x3 twisted rib would fare better on such a small body. And so that's what I did. And then I did a purl 3, knit 2, purl 3, and then went into the 3x3 twisted rib here. And I think it looks really, really great. I'm really excited about how it's turning out. And I actually finished everything except for the sleeve, or I finished the sleeves and the cuff and everything. I haven't done any weaving in of the loose ends, but I did this sweater, I did it bottom up, so everything is knitted in the round until I got to the sleeve area, and then I split at the sleeves, and I started with the back, and then I turned around to the front and I gave it a rounded neckline, and then I asked my son what he wanted for his neckline, and he said he wanted a hood. So not quite what my husband had, but I started working on the hood. So here is the hood. I decided to try to do it separate. I could have just added stitches along here and then tried to build it out that way, but I felt like, because I've never done a hood, I mean, I've never knit a full sweater like this bottom up before either, so there's a first time for everything. But I decided to do this because I wasn't sure how to work the pattern, and I still don't know what I'm going to do once I get to the crown and how I want to turn that. I don't necessarily like hoods that have like that really squared point here in the back, so I'm trying to, as I knit up this, trying to figure that out. So yeah, so this is where I am at with his little sweater. I really like it. It's super cute. I tried to find like crochet sweaters for boys, and I found one that I thought was cute, but I wasn't really feeling the pattern. It was like a moss stitch, and I am using this Kobu yarn from Lion Brand, and this is in the color olive, and I just don't like the way the Kobu yarn crochets up. I prefer, it looks really good with a knit, but with the crochet, it just, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So I switched over to, I ditched the crochet aspect of it and just decided to make up my own knit sweater. And so this is what I've come up with so far, and I just have the hood left to do and then to weave in the ends. But I would love to get this finished by Thanksgiving, which is next week, because I can see them walking into Thanksgiving wearing matching sweaters. I just think it would be cute. So this is probably the #1 thing on my list to finish, just because, like I said, I would love for him to wear it for the holidays, and that's coming up. Like, it's imminent. So this is the first project. And then the second project that I really want to finish is actually one that I just started just a few days ago, and my mom bought me, or she didn't buy, she gave me a central machine that she had last year, and I just never got around to using it. And so I want to make just some like really quick sweaters for myself and just kind of build out a little bit of like a cold weather wardrobe. And I don't want it to take all day because, like I said, I have other projects that I'm trying to finish. So behind me here are my pieces. So I'm doing a color block sweater. It's actually turned into a sweater dress. So the panels go all the way down to about mid-thigh, and it is just 2 different shades, a light and a dark gray, and then this really beautiful pink. I'm using 24/7 cotton, and so it has been a bit of a journey trying to figure out the central machine, because apparently, and I've been learning some troubleshooting things, but apparently cotton is like not the yarn to use on a central machine, and you know, it's kind of too late for me because I already bought all the yarn and this is what I intended to use. So I have been figuring it out. And so this is the next project. Actually, I'll probably finish this first because this is actually not that bad, or I might finish them around the same time, honestly. So whenever I just want to break from doing that, I just started working on this. So it's coming out really nicely. It's been a bit of a learning curve figuring out tension, but it is possible to knit on cotton fibers with the central machine, and you just have to be really mindful of your stitches. So I'm really loving these colors and how they're turning out. I can't wait for the finished product. I'm still trying to figure out what the sleeves are going to look like. So this is all I have for now, which is just these 3, which are going to make the front panel, because I want it to be, I'm so wrinkled. I want it to be oversized, and so that's why it's 3 panels. But this is another project that I am currently in the process of working on. And then I have a handful of other projects, And so, like I said, in order of how I would like to complete them, I have some things that I have had sitting around for some years. So the first thing, well, actually, yeah, okay. So here's this right here, and this was just a little bag. I was kind of inspired by Pinterest, and I saw a lot of these little granny square style bags, and so this is one that I'm gonna finish up. I just need to finish it. So I have the bag, the front and the back, and I have these straps. So it just needs to be assembled and then lining put into it. I thought about adding a zipper to the top of it, and I don't know. I haven't really thought about this in a few months. So this is also one of those projects that it would be nice to just get done. I just kind of fell off of it because it's not, this is like a really spring summer kind of a bag, so it just didn't fit with the vibes of anything that I'm currently working on. And then the next group of things that I have, and if you guys watched my Everything I Crocheted as a beginner video back in March sometime, maybe April, I had these granny squares that I had always intended on making a cardigan and a bag out of. So I have just these that are set up like this, and then these with like this, with the African flower square. And so this needs to become something, and this is definitely a project that I would like to see finished because it's been sitting around in the square form for about 1.5 years, and so it's time to finish this out and get these projects done. So like I said, I have like this whole bucket is basically just full of those squares, mainly because I intended to make both grannies, like a granny square cardigan as well as a granny squared bag. So that's there, and this is out of 24/7 cotton. And then finally I have, well, not finally, I have these granny squares as well. I can't remember what this is, like the sunburst or the what, I don't remember which one this is, but I have these squares, and then I also have these triangles. So my thought with these was to make a tank top, but then, and I think I'm done with everything. I just need one more granny square, I think, and then I will have all of these completely finished. And again, I'm using Kobu yarn. I love cotton yarn, in case you haven't noticed, but I'm using the Kobu yarn. Again, I love cotton yarn. You're gonna see me using cotton pretty much all the time. I do have some wool I would like to try over here, but why is this turn around? Let everyone see your beautiful face. Okay, but anyways, I do have some wool yarn that I want to try, but again, I just have so many projects that I need to finish out before I can start anything new. So right now, for this particular project, I am using the Kobu yarn, and so this was supposed to be a tank top. I don't know if I said that before, but I wanted to make a tank. I thought that would be a really cute kind of summery item. But because of the fall, and I do have this one skein left. I have like this one, and I have a little bit of another one. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think I can maybe make like a set of sleeves so I could have the tank with like a shrugs sleeve situation. So hopefully I have enough. I'm gonna give it a try, see, and then I can actually finish out these things that have been sitting in this basket for a while. So those are those projects, and then those are the ones that I most definitely want to get done this year. Like before the end of the year, I want to ensure that I get those projects done. Now there is one more project. Like I said, there was one that I was kind of unsure if I was actually going to complete, and so that is this one here. So I started working on this one. Shout out to the paper pattern girlies. I cannot, I don't know how people just sit there on their phone like this. I need a paper pattern. And then if I ever want to make it again, I just rather just kind of filter through papers and filter through screens. That's just me. But anyways, this is the Uptown Cardigan by Stephanie Jessica Lau. And that's kind of what the end result, hopefully you can't see through this paper. Ugh. So this is how the cardigan is going to look in the end. And I started working on this cardigan. So I started working on this cardigan probably back in July, maybe June, July. And I like the pattern. The pattern is beautiful. It is perfect. And my mom actually sent it to me and my sister. And so we're all three making this cardigan, actually not a sweater, a cardigan. But I got bored, and like I said, the pattern is written beautifully. It's just that it's very simple. It's very simple. Like if you are a beginner, try that cardigan out. It's meant to be an oversized cardigan. It's you saw the picture, like it's super cute. But like I said, I got bored. It is garter stitch, and if you know what garter stitch is, they're knit and flat. It's knit flat panel, and it's just garter stitch. Which garter stitch is just knitting back and forth. I started in July. It is November, and I'm still on row. These things are awesome, by the way. I'm on row 141 of 265 rows. And I've only gotten the back done. I started it the way it was written with just the garter stitch, and as I said, I got bored. So I made up my own pattern. I used kind of like her sizing and her measurements and a generalized stitch count, and then I created my own. So here is the pattern that I came up with. I ended up taking down what I had done and then making a new one. And so I saw this sort of heart cable pattern on Pinterest. And so I learned how to do that. And then I just added a 3x3 twisted cable as well. So this is just the pattern. It's just a repeat of those cables across the back panel. And so this is the color I used, and as you guys could probably tell, there's a trend here, but this pattern actually calls for this yarn, but it's Kobu yarn, and I'm using the color magenta. So, and it's yeah, it's just the color magenta, that's what it says. So I started working on this. This is my third skein of this yarn that I am using, and literally all I have is this back panel. Like I said, I started it and then I took it down, and then I kind of restarted it and just created my own pattern, so that there was just a little bit more interest to kind of keep me engaged. So this is meant to be an oversized cardigan that goes down to like your mid to lower thigh. And so far, this is how much I have. So I've got quite a ways to go. This would look actually really cute if it was just like a basic sweater, but I am going to make it into the full cardigan because I don't own any oversized cardigans, so I think it would be a nice addition to my collection. So this is sort of like the wishful thinking item that I would love to get done. So I have the pattern, or I figured out the pattern for the back. I have it in a notebook over there, but I have yet to figure out how the front panels, or the pattern repeat for the front panels or the sleeves, are gonna look. So I've got a ways to go. I've got quite a bit to do. to get this done. And like I said, this is the wishful thinking project. Like, it would be nice if I could get this whole thing done in a month, but the probability of that is slim to none. unless I get just like this huge burst of just productive energy and my fingers just start twitching. I don't foresee myself finishing this, but I am really excited about it. I really love this heart cable pattern on here. This was really good find, and so I'm excited to actually get that finished, although it might not be until November of next year that it's actually done, based on the timeline of how long it's taking me to get it done so far. So yeah, you guys, that is all for this video and these projects. So stay tuned as I begin working through all of this. I am having a lot of fun with these projects. The first project I am going to be trying to complete, and like I said, this is going to be just sort of like a, as I get around to them, I may or may not be completing these projects in every video. This is just me kind of getting everything that I want to do out into the ethos, into the world, into the universe, and then hoping I can actually live up to everything that I said. So that is that. So this is, like I said, this is my priority, getting his sweater done, and I'm just gonna kind of bring you guys along for the ride. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you are enjoying videos like this, that you want to see more videos like this, and that you actually want to see what I have to work on next. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and until next time, stay blessed.